Stop! Queen Isolde thundered as she caught Prince Elias trying to run away. The grand hall of Valtoria's royal palace echoed with the final toll of the morning bells. King Reginald was dead. Long live whoever was left to claim the throne. Queen Isolde stood motionless at the head of the marble staircase, black silk gown trailing like spilled ink across the polished floor. Her face was a mask of regal composure, but her eyes, sharp, unyielding, burned with something far more dangerous than grief. Elias. Her voice sliced through the hushed courtiers like a blade. The crown prince, standing halfway down the stairs, froze. He had been trying to slip away unnoticed, the same way he'd slipped away from every state dinner, every council meeting, every suffocating reminder that the crown was now his birthright. He turned slowly. The weight of every gaze in the room pressed against his shoulders. "Mother." "You will address me as your majesty in public," she corrected, voice low but lethal. "And you will not leave this palace until the coronation is scheduled." A ripple of whispers spread through the assembled nobles. Elias felt the heat rise in his chest, the same heat that had been building for years. "I'm grieving, mother," he said quietly, "the same as everyone else. Grief is a luxury kings do not have." She descended one step, then another. Each heel click echoed like a countdown. "Your father is buried tomorrow. The coronation must be announced within the week. The people need certainty. Valtoria needs a king. I'm not ready. You were born ready." Her smile was thin, cold. "Or, at least, you were born to obey." Elias's jaw tightened. He thought of the children he'd met in the orphanages of the capital, wide-eyed, hopeful, clinging to the smallest kindness. He thought of the letters he'd written in secret, promising to build homes, schools, futures for them once he was free. Free. A word he had never truly tasted. "I don't want the throne," he said. The words landed like a gunshot in the silence. Gasps. Murmurs. One elderly duke actually clutched his chest. Queen Isolde's expression didn't change, but something flickered behind her eyes, something dangerous. "You do not want it," she repeated softly. "You do not want to preserve the monarchy that has stood for 3 centuries? You do not want to honor your father's dying wish." "My father's dying wish was for me to be happy," Elias said, voice cracking for the first time. "Not to be another puppet." The queen's laugh was short, sharp, humorless. "Puppet? You think I am pulling strings?" She closed the distance between them in 3 graceful strides. When she spoke again, her voice was barely above a whisper, meant only for him. "I am keeping this country from collapsing. And if you walk away, if you dare abandon your duty, I will make sure every newspaper, every television screen, every child you claim to care about knows exactly what kind of selfish coward you truly are." Elias stared at her, heart hammering. For a moment he saw not his mother, but the woman who had once sung him lullabies, who had once smiled without calculation. That woman was gone. "I need time," he said finally. "You have until the end of the week. After that, I will announce your coronation myself, whether you stand beside me or not." She turned, dismissing him with the simple act of looking away. Elias remained rooted to the spot as the courtiers began to file out. Only one figure lingered at the edge of the hall, his bodyguard, Luca, tall and silent, arms folded. Luca didn't speak until they were alone in the corridor leading to the prince's private wing. "You okay?" he asked quietly. "No," Elias answered. "I'm not." Luca glanced over his shoulder, then stepped closer. "Then what are we doing, Eli?" Elias looked at the man who had been his shadow since childhood, the one person who had never once called him "Your Highness" when they were alone. "I think," Elias swallowed. "I think I'm leaving." Luca's eyes widened, just for a second, before the mask of calm returned. "Tonight? Tonight." A beat of silence. "Then I'm coming with you," Luca said simply. Elias exhaled, the first real breath he'd taken in hours. "California," he said. "Somewhere quiet. Somewhere no one knows my name." Luca gave a small, crooked smile. "Handyman job still open at that seaside cafe you were reading about?" Elias almost laughed, almost. Yeah, it is. They moved quickly, shadows slipping through the palace corridors they had both memorized years ago. Behind them, in the grand hall, Queen Isolde stood alone, staring at the empty staircase. She whispered to the darkness, "You will come back, Elias, or I will burn everything you love to make sure of it." The bells tolled once more. The night swallowed the sound. And somewhere far below, in the servants' passage, two men stepped toward a future no one had written yet.